Да, конечно.
Можно эти, которые уже накладывали?
Да, можно, там написано, что можно из всех 9 выбирать, но понятное дело, что тот же человек, который докладывать не может. Но ту же задачу, конечно, можно. So, let's do the checkup. BioTournament, Watson Screams, yeah, Watson Screams, Russian Sushi, and Equilibrium are here. We have one juror missing. We have one juror missing, but I think we can start challenging procedure. So now the reporter is Team BioTournament. The opponent team is Watson Screams, and BioTournament cannot be challenged to problems number 5 and number 7. Other problems are all available. So please, you can. Problem number 1. Do you accept? Rejected, okay. Problem number 1 rejected. Another one, please. Second one is accepted. Yes? Yes, please. Have your preparation time. Yes, please, you can start.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Olga, and I want to present you the second problem, save at lunch. So, sunflower husk is a byproduct of sunflower oil production, and it is a result of a process of this production, and it may be used in different fields, and one of the most interesting field is use of husk as a component of feed, mixtures or additives to feed. Here you can see the chemical composition of the husk, and we can see that cellulose, which is about 50% in the husk, and NFE, also it is a large amount of it in the husk, and a large amount of NFE is lignin. Both of these products may be not so good because it may reduce feeding properties, so we need to destruct these substances. So our purpose was to increase the possibility of using husks as a feed and food additives. And our tasks to solve these problems were to develop a process for the effective destruction of lignin and cellulose, and to increase the total protein content in the husk. So we may present you the following process. First stage will be pre-processing. It is necessary to spend less time on other stage, and while this stage we reduce some materials which may be not good for other stage. The first way of preprocessing is binding of sodium hydroxide with husks, and the second way is pretreatment with superheated water steam. The next stage is degradation of cellulose. And as we found that literature, the possible fungus which may degrade cellulose is Trichoderma harzianum. We carried out an experimental cultivation of this fungus on the husk in convey dishes, and this cultivation turned out that not crushed husk, fungus at not crushed husks grows better. Therefore, it may be better to not to transport husk to some factories, because we will need to press it before transportation. It may be better to make workshops for processing in the sunflower oil factories. The second stage is the decomposition of lignin, and this process may be carried out by Pleurotus ostreatus, which is a good fungus which may reduce lignin, and it will be cultivated after Trichoderma harzianum. So, cultivation of Pleurotus ostreatus may have some good properties, such as increasing of protein mass at the husk, therapeutic and some preventive properties. And it is also very strong fungus, which is not which may grow almost everywhere, and in a wide range of environment. But to allow our fungus to grow, we need firstly to kill Trichoderma, and it may be carried out by treatment the mass with hot water vapor. And about purification. At first stage, which was a pre-treatment, we added sodium hydroxide, but we added not much amount of it, so it only makes the solution neutral, and we don't need to purify the product from this compound. Also, our fungus which growed here has good feeding properties, so we also do not need to purify our product. We may just dry it and add to our food. And we may use our product as a component of flour instead of bread, or in the preparation of loaves and bread. So to sum up, for first stage will be a bread treatment with alkali or hot water vapor. Then we introduce into our solution at Trichoderma harzianum, and after it Pleurotus ostriatus. Then we make after that we may dry it and add to the food. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Now it's time for clarifying questions. Do you have any questions? Do you have any clarifying questions for the reporter? No, so we have 2 minutes to prepare your position. Phone team, please.
Thanks for your presentation, and I want to note how you propose to load energetic and toxic components in the protein food before this method of bioconventional husk.
So it's time for your opposing speech, which should be addressed to all the audience. Your opposing speech, then questions and answers in polemics.
Yes. I want to note what this solution do not contains method of low toxic allergenic and toxic component in food before this technical of conventional also for husk and I know this technical of bioconventional will be so experience so I don't know what I could say about this.
Yes, if you finished with that position, we'll thank you for that. And now it's time for polemics. Now you can discuss any questions related to the solution proposed by the reporter. So, please, your time starts now.
So you said that the resulting product will contain some toxic compounds. You want to ask about it?
Yes.
While we add sodium hydroxide, it degrades some compounds such as silic acid and a lot of other toxic compounds, some phenolic substances. So they will not be presented in the resulting product.
Thanks. How much the cost of BioTournament conventional?
The
cost of BioTournament conventional with of sunflower husk.
We didn't count how much will cost. Yes, the question is in, but we don't think that it will be expensive. We read some literature and so.
Okay. So I don't to ask you about all.
So if you don't have any questions, also Napoleon has approximately 3 minutes to add or to say something. Napoleon, excuse me, report. Do you want to add something?
I think that
polemics?
no.
Yes.
What?
Thanks. Thank you for your polemics. So let's proceed to the review.
Thank you for your presentation, and now about now some words about just presentation. I like the structure during one slide, but the structure of whole presentation was a little bit different. So I can't find the line during our presentation, a logical line. But I like that you taught for us all aspects of this process, about crushing, about biological part, all steps of degradation of sunflower husk. We have a real overview on this process, and a little bit a lot of text on the slides is too much to read, and also about decision, about solution for problems. You don't mention different toxic compounds and about allergy, and I don't think that sodium hydroxide is universal solution for this one, for this problem, and maybe this point of problem should be need more attention, because toxic toxic compounds is the main part of this problem. But this solution is really should be cheap, and maybe it's a really good alternative for yeast. About BioTournament, I don't know what to say because it was very short, and yes, BioTournament said about toxic compounds, but the opponent with reported didn't find the solution of this question, and I can't say that it was polemic. Thank you for attention.
Thank you. So, questions from the jury board? Yes. Yes. Yes.
They grow several weeks, and they do not need some additional.
Yes. Any other question? Yes, please.
So you try to use fungus for this question. Maybe we should we should look at termites, for example, that use some biotic pseudo. I don't remember really, but it's bacterial things. Most time, metabolism of bacteria much faster than in mushrooms. Don't you?
But mushrooms, fungi have some proteins, which may make feeding properties better.
But not so fast.
So we choose mushrooms to make more protein.
Yes.
Really? Fungus have more protein than bacteria? Really? I don't know. It's most
Maybe more variety.
But Pleurodus is the main source of protein in this process, and we thought that it would be better, but maybe we need to think about.
Thanks for the questions. If there are any other, we can thank all participants and proceed to grading. So please put your grades in protocols, and now the scores for the reporter. For the report, 7, 7, 6, 5, 6. For the opponent, 3, 3, 5, 5, 3. For the reviewer, 4, 4, 3, 3, 4. Thanks, and now we can proceed to the last stage for today. So, at the last stage, the reporting team will be Watson Screams. The opposing team is the Russian Sushi, and you cannot challenge to problems 5 because it was eternal rejection, and problem number 6 because it was already reported. So please. Task number 9. Watson screams, do you accept? Yes. Yes, problem 9 is accepted. No. Yes, you can start, please.
Okay, thank you. Hello. My question, it had to be a god, and my question about ecological system, and I think I say about life system support. Life system support, it's system for ensure lives people in the submarine or spaceship, and this system must given atmosphere, eat and food and water. It's minimum, but other issue. Life support system many have resource. It a very simple system, and this system prepares. It's not expensive, has little space, requires minimum energy, but cannot use a long time because resource is you can't take a very big resource because it not easy, and not cycle substance. It's problem because cycle substance is very good for very long work system, you can see on this slide several chemical reactions for recycling elements. System was used on first spaceship with astronauts and different systems. And problems with this system, and it life support systems operating of physical chemical principles can not create a complete recycling elements, and system require conceivable and can't not give a full real for people. At the moment, analog is Mars 500. It's a system in Moscow Institute for model for create model to fly on Mars. Live support system on biological principles. In this system, there are living organisms. They are intermediaries in the cycle of elements. In the moment, analog system BIOS 3. BIOS 3 it system on institute in Krasnoyarsk city. it system как это close ecological system. You can see on this slide scheme with Phytotron 1 and 3, and in this Phytotron people can growing plants for it, for food for it, and you can see chlorella reactors on three position, and this maquette you can see. But this system has have a problem. Обратно. Problem. It autonomy was only 6 months. It not good for very long time work. Close ecosystems, Biosphere 2. It systems in USA. It was a very big hothouse with many как это? In this system was live 8 peoples, but it system does not work because in this system solar radiation decreased by 50%, and plants did not have enough light. The main problems of closed ecosystems. The complete cycle substance is very hard, and low degree of photosynthesis, few food is produced, low stability on closed systems. Another closed ecosystem for people, reducing reducing of oxygen and water, absorption of carbon dioxide, как это? Carbon and other. In this slide you can see table for with plant in plant for herbal diet for people, for person.
Excuse me, you have 1 minute left.
What?
Yes, you have only 1 minute.
Okay. Okay, I начинаю буду торопиться. It concept art system. It system have phytotrons for about 400 meters, and значит, living rooms and reactor with alga for oxygen generation, vivarium for animals for eat, and other. Conclusion and so. Okay.
Thank you for your presentation. So it's time for clarifying questions, if there are any. Yes, so you have 2 minutes to prepare for your closing speech.
Thank you for your interesting presentation. I think it's very beautiful presentation, interesting and deeper. I see you analyze so much information about this topic, and I have some question. The first question, when you tell about one second. You tell us about chemical reactions, and I think you speak about to create energy, if I correctly understand. But its reaction not so effective. It's the first, and it's a reaction very dangerous because it can be fire in the system, and I think it's a little bit dangerous to use in a closed ecosystem. It must be more safety. And I have a question about system bias, because now in Japanese, I think you know, we have a project with name Yangon, and it's project based on bias free, and it's a more successful project which they can close all system with water, food, and atmosphere with oxygen. And my question, why you don't moving on this project and look at the bias free? And you tell us about very interesting project, very interesting biosphere too, but I want to discuss with you a question, which is the biggest problem with this system? What we can do in this situation and the project can work. Maybe you have an interesting solution in this. And I have a question about your closed ecosystem for people. What is material of this construction? What is the system of recycling of waste? What is the animals in your vivary, as I see, and which plants you use in this system, and the last question, which system of oxygen you will use in this system of production? And I think we can start discussion about it.
Thank you for your position. Okay. So now it's time for the discussion, and both of you will have 5 minutes.
Okay. I think we start with a chemical reaction. Okay. So why you use this system? Or you just speaking about the system like a variant?
Okay. In the first system reaction at chemical physics, chemical reactions, in this slide, I think reactions may be used in system, but I not say because I not have time. Yes, its reaction was used in BioTournament 2 for carbon dioxide stabilization. It first. and 2 for reaction. It's only reaction for about, I think, in my system. Other reaction, it only biological recipient with plant, animal, and alga, maybe chlorella. Chlorella it have a very big effective photosynthesis. Plants it for people. And rubbish, garbage on the system. It's very good. When plants grow, I can and I have rubbish from plants. I think I take this and I go to Bulgaria and my masters my plants, and I have animal thing for it. I think very good.
Okay, you speak about chlorella. It's interesting because one of the experiments in biosphere, as I remember, it was first system with human and chlorella. And it's interesting fact that chlorella reproduction all time, and we can't...
After stabilization, when carbon dioxide in atmosphere stay very big, very high, chlorella can produce very good. And if carbon dioxide little, chlorella is killed. I think in different literature. If I have reactor with mouse. If I say mouse in this reactor, carbon dioxide juh, on the graphic, yes, on the group, and stabilization. However, if I kill mouse, carbon dioxide very growth.
Oh, okay, I understand. Okay, what about biosphere? Why you don't look at the Yangon project?
Okay. I remember it was because I not found information for its system on literature. And I yes, very sad that but I know it's system, and China Igon 1 is protein.
Yeah, and is this system we have interesting situation because
excuse me, actually the reporter's stand had already finished, but the opponent has approximately 3 minutes to make any statements.
Okay, I wish because in the Yangon opposite of biosphere. In biosphere we use only plants, and in the Yangon use insects like a protein. And I think it's interesting step to create a protein in the closed ecosystem and use for feed of person, because to grow different animals in the closed system is so expensive, it's so trouble. If we speak about cosmic system or maybe moon base. And I like in the presentations that you create a view of your system. It's interesting, and really I want to know which animals do you want to use in the system, in Vivarium?
Only short answer. Only short answer.
Animal for eat.
Everything. Okay. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your polemics. Now the review. Review team, please. Yes.
Actually, once again, I'm Max Kuznetsov. I'm happy to make a kind of review for this case. Actually, I don't really like their presentation. As a review, I have to say about this. Actually, too fast were some slides, and actually I didn't catch a lot of information we possibly need for understanding the conceptual things in this solution. Actually, I have to draw the attention of jury that a little time was spent on the main idea, and a lot of were for reviewing on life support systems. Actually, it wasn't really clear for me how and in what manner the reporter solved the problem. Actually, the positive thing that we have heard quite full review on life support systems, but actually not for closed ecological systems, as it is stated in the task. Highlight the fundamental problems on closed ecological systems, not life support systems. Actually, there is some difference in my view. Actually, there was some factual mistakes. Actually, Biosphere 2 was closed not for light problems. There was a sudden growth of microbiome. They didn't calculate the amount of microbes that they consume oxygen, and there was lack of oxygen actually. So positive points are that actually there was a solution. So we heard about some kind of life support system that can supply food and oxygen, I think, for people. But a little were said about energy cycles, but this is the most important part of in constructing closed ecosystems, because if you don't think about energy, you can't make anything. Actually, I can draw your attention to chemical reactions. There was no conditioned thing, because I spotted the reaction between carbon dioxide and molecular hydrogen, actually it won't run without some particular conditions, actually some particular temperature and some catalyzer. So that was really a general thing. Thanks for opening. Their position was quite kind to the reporter, I think, because actually there was good polemic that, in my view, it didn't go to any precise decision to how to improve their system suggested. So there were words about how many animals, how many these things, but no word about general things like energy, like how to how close this system is really in reality. So I think these are main things that should be told here. I think this is all.
Thank you for your review. So now the review took exactly 5 minutes. So we can, if there are any please questions from jurors, if there are any. Well, so thanks a lot for participants. That was all related to Science Files for today. But the marks for the last stage. Yes, you can have your seats. Yes, everything is filled. So please show your marks for the report. 5, 4, 4, 3, 3. Now for the opposition. 6, 7, 6, 5, 5. And for the review. 5, 5, 4, 4, 5. So, thank you for this productive work during this day, during 2 rounds of scientific fights. We have some technical moments. The most important is choosing your preference. Yes, jurors may not take part in this, so it is time for each team to decide their preferences for the final tasks. And please please submit them in your team's passports. Well, the actual results will be announced, I guess, in 20 minutes after the end of the section 2. But we would like to collect preferences from all the teams. Yes, thanks for jurors. Now we'll collect preferences for final. Yes.